A major decision has just made headlines across the United States, and most people think this is simply another political update that will not affect their daily lives. But this story is not really about politics, because what is happening right now can directly influence your personal finances and long-term security. For retirees and seniors, especially those over the age of 65, this type of government decision is far more important than it may appear at first glance. Many official announcements are designed to sound technical and complicated, which causes people to ignore them without realizing the real impact. But behind these complex terms and legal language, there are changes that can slowly shift how money moves through the system. When policies change, even slightly, they often create ripple effects that reach Social Security, Medicare, and other retirement-related programs. These effects do not usually show up immediately, which is why most people do not notice them until months or even years later. This creates a hidden money problem, where nothing seems wrong on the surface, but financial pressure quietly builds in the background. You may start to feel that your expenses are increasing while your income remains almost the same. This gap between rising costs and fixed income is one of the biggest challenges retirees face today. Healthcare, housing, and daily living costs continue to grow, even when benefit adjustments stay limited. Over time, this slow shift can reduce financial comfort and increase stress, especially for those who rely heavily on monthly payments. Understanding how these decisions connect to your money is essential because awareness is often the first step toward protecting your financial. When major court decisions are announced, most people assume the impact will only be felt by politicians, lawyers, or government officials. But in reality, these decisions often reach much further, especially into systems that manage public funds and national programs. This is because many government benefits are connected to legal interpretations, budget rules, and policy frameworks decided at the highest level. When courts clarify or change how certain laws are applied, it can quietly influence how money is distributed across the country. These changes usually do not appear as sudden announcements, which is why most people never realize when the system starts shifting. Instead of saying benefits will be reduced, officials often use technical language that sounds harmless and administrative. But behind these words, small adjustments can affect funding priorities, eligibility rules, and long-term program sustainability. For retirees, this is important because Social Security and Medicare are not just payments, they are part of a larger financial structure. That structure depends on how government resources are allocated and how legal limits are interpreted. If certain spending rules change, even slightly, it can affect how much flexibility these programs have in the future. This does not always mean immediate cuts, but it can mean slower growth, delayed adjustments, or tighter conditions over time. These slow changes are difficult to notice because they happen gradually and are spread across many years. Many retirees believe that as long as their monthly payments continue, everything is stable and under control. But stability is not just about receiving money, it is also about how much that money can actually buy in real life. Over time, the true problem is not whether benefits exist, but whether those benefits keep up with rising costs. This is where inflation plays a silent role, slowly reducing the real value of fixed income. Even small increases in prices can make a big difference when they happen across essentials like food, rent, and healthcare. For someone on a limited budget, these changes are not just numbers, they directly affect daily comfort and lifestyle. What makes this situation difficult is that inflation does not feel dramatic. It feels gradual and almost invisible. One year, prices feel slightly higher. The next year, they feel normal again, but the total effect keeps growing. At the same time, benefit adjustments often lag behind real living costs, especially in areas like medical care. This creates a gap where income rises slowly but expenses move faster, shrinking purchasing power over time. As this gap widens, retirees may find themselves using savings more often, even if they planned not to. And this is how financial pressure develops quietly, not through sudden loss, but through slow erosion of value. Another important factor that many retirees overlook is how taxes quietly influence their monthly income. Most people assume that once they stop working, taxes no longer play a major role in their finances. But in reality, different types of retirement income are often taxed in different ways. Social Security benefits, for example, can become partially taxable depending on your total income level. Pensions, withdrawals from savings accounts, and investment earnings can also push income into higher tax ranges. This means that even if your gross income stays the same, your take-home amount can slowly decrease. Over time, small changes in tax rules or thresholds can create noticeable differences in real spending power. These changes usually do not feel dramatic because they happen gradually and are spread across many years. But when combined with inflation and rising costs, taxes can quietly add more pressure to a fixed budget. For many retirees, this results in less flexibility and fewer choices in how money can be used. Instead of saving or enjoying retirement, more income goes toward unavoidable expenses. And this is how taxes become another hidden factor that slowly reduces financial comfort without drawing much attention. In the end, the biggest risk for most retirees is not a sudden financial crash, but a series of small changes that slowly add up over time. These changes often come from different directions, including inflation, healthcare costs, taxes, and government policy decisions. Individually, each factor may seem manageable, but together they can quietly reshape financial security. This is why many people feel more pressure today, even if their income has not officially decreased. The system still provides support, but the real value of that support can slowly weaken without clear warning signs. For those living on fixed income, this creates a situation where careful planning becomes more important than ever. Small financial habits, awareness of costs, and understanding policy changes can make a meaningful difference over time. Retirement is not just about how much money you receive, but how well that money is protected from hidden losses. The more informed you are, the better prepared you become to adjust and respond to changes around you. This does not mean panic or fear, but it does mean paying attention to how the world affects your personal finances. Many people only realize these impacts when it becomes difficult to recover, which is why awareness matters early. If this topic feels relevant to your situation, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to stay informed about how major events quietly affect your financial future.